What's up, UH Nation? I'm Ron Burgundy.
And I'm Billy. I thought you were Kevin Minnick.
I'm Kevin Minnick, and we're here to talk to you about Week 3 in the Dallas region. I'm going to go ahead and start us off with the Dallas Athletic Club. First, we have up the Massive Jammers versus Dirkaholics. Massive Jammers came back and played another great game.
Not to be confused with the Free Dirk of the Plano League. Those are the Dirkaholics.
Correct. You are Free Dirk, and Dirkaholics is led by a guy named David Vaughn. He is a sound player. He's smart. He'll make the layups down low and keeps his team just molded together. But that week, Massive Jammers definitely came and put on a show like they always do. Ryan Z, just like last week, did his usual, Mr. Layup is what we like to call him. He doesn't miss. Normally he'll have 10 for 11 down low, has a high percentage, higher than anyone in the league, probably in the whole region actually. Of course, Brian Rawlings did his thing. Same with Brajan Montero. They just put on an awesome show. Dirkaholics, they're a good team. They need to mesh together a little bit more. They missed a lot of shots. They're still kind of brushing off the rust, but they added a lot of good players. Fonzo Martinez came back, so he's in the game, putting on a good show as well. And him as point guard is definitely going to help them out.
I have no idea who any of those guys are.
You need to show up to the games a little bit more, which you will be because you're bringing in your team.
Correct.
What's your team?
More to come on that.
More to come on that?
Okay,
I'll let you expand upon that. Come your turn. Next, we had an upset. We had Left 4 Dead, my team, versus the Metroplex One Hit Wonders. Like I said last week, Metroplex One Hit Wonders are a great team, led by EJ Navarez. He definitely helped carry that team. One thing he does great is draws the foul and makes the layup. He did it countless times. Our team was getting aggravated with each other because of how many times we did it. Either foul him and don't let him score, or play straight up and don't make it a three-point play. But EJ did a great job molding his team together. Travis Allison with the three-pointers. Dave Little, no turnovers. He's been in the league forever. He's been at the club forever. He's here before me. Great player as well. But Left 4 Dead, we had two additions, Mitch Narney and Brian Walls, which really helped our team. They gave us some size, gave us some shooting ability. We started to dominate the boards with Ruben Gomez at point guard. He made great passes. Ruben's a great shooter. And Brian Walls, he's I think 6'5", 6'6", but just knocks down the three-pointers and is great down low, rebounds. And of course we have Brian Levy. He's back in the league. He had to miss half the season last season, but he's back. He's doing his thing. He normally averages around 20 to 25 rebounds a game. Of course, that's going to decrease now that we have Brian Walls, Mitch Narney, hitting the boards, and of course Matt Gale does his thing down low. He's getting better and better every single game, and Alex hitting the three-pointers. I think he was 1 for 2. I could be wrong with that one. I knocked down a three-pointer, a little reverse layup as well from a pass from, I believe it was Brian Walls or Mitch, one of the two. So for our very first time playing with Mitch and playing with Brian Walls, we molded together very well. Still have a lot of brushing the rust off, but we're definitely going to compete in this league, and hopefully we'll be able to win the championship. We've been together for over a year now, so it's about time.
Mitch on the inbound. Kick it out to Ruben. 6 seconds left. Ruben on the drop. Travis on the foul. That'll be team foul number 5, meaning they got one more left. Ruben on the inbound to Mitch. Mitch for 3. Count it. And just like that, the underdogs take the W.
Oh, let's jump to Flower Mound. We weren't able to cover them last week, but we have some highlights and interviews there. So Up first, we had Jordan's Disciples versus Natty Light. Natty Light's been one of the strongest teams in the league for a while now. They were here the first season we opened up at Flower Mound, but we had an upset this week. Jordan's Disciples added two big names, Alex Baird and Joe Davenport, who know each other and play together very well. I'd like to highlight Alex Baird. This kid is crazy. You look at him, and at first, if you don't know him, you think, he's a good player, but he starts playing and he breaks down the defense. He makes great passes, knocks down the three-pointers, makes, hard layups, and is just an all-around awesome player. So Alex Baird, as long as he can make it to every single game, is going to be a game changer, and all the teams need to be aware of his skill level, and also his ability to mesh with Joe Davenport. Joe's amazing. He's tall. I think he's 6'4", 6'5", I believe, and snags rebounds for putbacks. He pops out, hits the three-pointer. Great passer, just an overall great player, especially for his size. And I'd also like to recognize Brandon Smith. He's been with the team almost the whole time they've been together. I think one season he wasn't with the team, but I would say he's the most improved player. He's smart. He knows that if he's covered tight, he needs to pass it. He's not selfish. He's not a black hole. And he's starting to make difficult layups down low, and is just a phenomenal rebounder as well. So Brandon Smith has been doing a great job.
How is the talent coming over at Flower Mound? Is it
know
coming
what?
up a little bit?
Yeah, this season is definitely, the talent has definitely improved from last season. Last season it kind of faltered, but this season you got Natty Light, who's always good. Jordan's Disciples, like I said, added Alex Baird and Joe Davenport. My team, we were champions for the past 2 seasons. We kept our roster the same, but it's definitely going to be more difficult, which kind of will lead me into our game against Bangin' Threes. But first, before we jump into that, I wanted to talk about Natty Light. We had they still got Kevin Freeman hitting the three-pointers, making good passes. Ethan Hamer dominates the boards. He's one of the strongest players. Without him, they kind of suffer a little bit. But Kevin Freeman, Ethan Hamer, and Scott Everett are a few big names there. So with them, they're a pretty good powerhouse. You have also Austin Frappier and Drew Robertson, who just knock the threes down. If they're open, they're going to shoot it. And one thing I've seen from Drew, actually, he's starting to drive more. He'll take it to the hoop and take the jumper or go for the layup. So I'm happy to see him stepping up to the table. Also, we have Enyi Duka, who plays for Natty Light, a new addition, and great three-point shooter. He has the ability to carry the team on his shoulders, but playing with Natty Light, he doesn't need to. So he does definitely pass the ball off. Maybe I think he should a little more than he does, but we'll see what he can pull off. During the game, Alex Baird went up for a layup, and Enyi Duka went and said he blocked the ball. It was clean, but the Paul called it a foul, and Alex got to shoot too. So it was a big controversy. He said that this was something that kind of screwed with his head for the rest of the game. So we're going to break to an interview with Enyi talking about that foul. What's up, UH Nation? Here with Enyi, who's playing for Natty Light now. Really, we're here just to talk about one call that you felt was wrong. Paul called a foul on you when you went in to block a shot, and you feel you got all ball. Talk a little bit about that.
Okay, see, let me break it down for you. Alex Baird made a good defensive play to steal the ball off Austin Frappier's pass, and I was right there with him as he was about to go. But what I do is I'm not going to challenge Alex Baird up top, so I'm going to get him before he puts up the shot. So essentially I got him where the ball was still down here while trying to get him when the ball was up here. So what happened was I was on his left side, and I reached across with my right hand, and I got all ball. But I guess referee Paul is still recovering from his LASIK surgery that he got on Friday. So stuff is still not right. He was still putting eye drops in every time out. And he missed it. He called foul, which I didn't believe it was. I argued him down. I got technical. I got thrown out the game. I'm just kidding. I didn't get thrown out the game. I didn't get technical. But yeah, it was still a wrong call. And so I'm expecting an apology by Ultimate Hoops. My address is, I think, on my
Okay.
and I want my letter of apology issued. Yeah.
How did that affect you mentally moving forward in the game?
Yeah, it was the beginning of the game. I felt like that call kind of threw me off psychologically. So my shots that usually go in weren't going in because I was just so bogged down. Because I made a good play defensively. I could have put the team on my back, but it gave me one foul that I probably would need back at the end of the game. But it kind of messed me up mentally. So I kind of blame him on the loss.
There you have it.
It's on you, Paul.
On Paul. And you with the foul. Talk to you later. Back to Flower Mound. The Flomo Saints, my team, played Bangin' Threes. Now, Ayo Adedipe is the team manager and captain for Bangin' Threes, and he wants to win. He's been in my office every single week talking about, how my team's going to go down. We're going to beat you guys real easy. And he definitely gave us a run for our money. I think we won by only 4 points, and it was just back and forth the entire game. He added some size to his team. So you got Ayo, who's I think 6'4". He added another guy, Anthony, who's I believe 6'5". So they're powerhouses down low, as well as a young kid, the 19-year-old. His name's Nick. He can hit threes, and he's another tall guy. So they added size, but what else they added was Ruben Gomez. Ruben was insane. I think he went it was either between 5 and I think 6 or 7 3-pointers that game. He shot lights out. He shot a 3-pointer, and I fouled him. I bumped into him, and it still went in, and he made it a 4-point play, which brought it to a 3-point game. So they definitely gave us a run for our money. But we were able to pull it off. And Ayo, keep in mind, we had 5 people. You guys had 7. We were missing a couple of our good players. But, we'll see. I believe week 8 or week 7 we play you again. So you mentioned that you have a new method and you know how you're going to beat us. So I'm excited to see what that is. Wanted to also cut to an interview. We have Megan DeVille interviewing Saif Mansour. And Saif will be talking about his game versus Bangin' Threes.
Hi, this is Megan DeVille with Ultimate Hoops with Safe. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm excellent. I'm a little sick, but I'm good.
So this is week 3 of Ultimate Hoops now. How do you think week 3 went with y'all's team today?
I think we should have won by a lot more. Yeah, but a couple of mistakes here and there. We still came out with the W. We did what we set out to do, looking to go undefeated this season and come back and get a championship.
Who was your main player of the game on your team, you think?
We all did what we needed to do. We played as a team, which is basketball. 5 players out there. It's not one-on-one. Come out, you do what you need to do. Play as a group, play as a unit. You'll come out and you'll win.
How do you think your defense did stopping them?
We did good. Just a couple of points down the stretch in what would be called the end of the third into the fourth. We could have done some things defensively to stop the other team. Just, basic stuff, but we'll work on it. We'll come back next week. We'll get another W, hopefully.
Who do y'all play against next week?
Kevin texts me. I don't know.
You just come to play? That's Ultimate Hoops for you.
So, great game between the Flomo Saints and Bangin' Threes. Upset with Jordan's Disciples and Natty Light. So we had some good games at Flower Mound. Also wanted to talk about, in the Dallas Athletic League, a new team, Ciroc Bottles. I think that's an alcohol, I don't know, some sort of vodka. I don't know if you're savvy with that stuff, but...
Are they looking to play maybe Natty Light from Flower Mound?
No, this is...
and make it an all-alcoholic game?
Natty Light versus Ciroc Bottles, that'd be quite interesting. But yeah, they're a new team. They got some strong players. They got some fillers. I think they need to add maybe 1 or 2 stronger players to really mold their team together. Definitely. I know, Bashir Yamini really wants to step it up and kind of carry the team a little bit more on his shoulders. Connor, team manager and captain, he put this team together last minute. Is a good 3-point shooter, but recently, man, they've been hitting the back of the rim going out, and you know who I'm talking about. So if Connor starts hitting his 3-pointers like he has in the past, that definitely be a big help. If Bashir really gets in there, starts hitting those jumpers, finishing those layups, because that's what he's good at, and he can hit the 3-pointer too. this team could definitely be a sleeper team and really get into competing with the bigger names out there, the more veteran teams. So Surrock Bottles, they'll definitely be a good team. I'm glad they joined the league. Just add more competition, different faces. So it'll be good to see what they can do. Anderson Messer also is an addition to that team, and I believe he hit 3 or 4 3-pointers, got a steal, had probably the best game I've ever seen him play. We coined him Mr. Anderson. I'm sure everyone's seen The Matrix. So when he's out on the court, we got James DJ Ram calling him Mr. Anderson when he hits his 3-pointer. So it's a good time, and I'm happy about that team. They're going to do good things. So I'm excited to see what they can really bring to the table. So Surrock Bottles are here to stay. We're going to go ahead and cut to an interview. We got James Ramsey interviewing Anderson Messer and Bashir Yamini.
And we have Bashir here. Not sure how many points did you have,
Not sure. I didn't see the box score.
but definitely taking over with the rebounding, grabbing all the boards, offensive and defensive out there. What seemed to be the problem today that kept y'all from staying in sync, from flowing like you did last week?
I got to help my team on the scoring. I, to be honest with you, can be dominant. It's not too many people can stop me if I'm driving the basketball. Shooting a little bit too much. It was off tonight. Kind of hard to the left, so just got to clean it up.
So you hit those weights, the shoulders, correct?
Yeah, no excuses. Jordan used to lift before the game and get it done, but I was off tonight. The three-point ball wasn't going in. I had to get it together, so next week we'll be all right.
Definitely looking forward to next week. What about you, man? What seemed to be off with you today? I mean, you were on as far as shooting, but as far as what you had, 3 steals and whatnot?
Yeah, I think I had 3 steals, a couple blocks, so it wasn't bad. But
So you had a nice game overall.
yeah, it wasn't bad. I'll take it, definitely.
Right. Well, we sure do look forward to seeing you chip into your team's success later on in the season. And Bashir, we sure look forward to you putting more points up on the board.
Absolutely.
All right, fellas. Well, that'll do it for this interview of Ultimate Hoops Weekly. Again, as always, one love, one ball. Ultimate Hoops.
Turn up.
Turn up, yeah.
Welcome back, Dallas. My name is Billy Hilliard. We're going to go over some of, or actually all of the Plano games from Thursday night. So glad you could join us in this week's edition of our recap. First game of the night was kind of billed it as the game of the night as well. 2 undefeated teams coming in, Team Torch as well as Illuminati, led by Reggie Britton and company. Team Torch without one of their better players, and actually one of the better players in the league this season, Creston Martin, couldn't make it out. So they were down a man, and Illuminati was lighting it up from the get-go. They weren't missing from deep. Martin Salinas put on another show, 40 points last night. James Williams met him there with 34. Those guys were just feeding off of each other's energy all night. Team Torch really couldn't match up on defense with them. Just a lot of mismatches out on the court, and I expect Team Torch to kind of find their rhythm again. But with that matchup, with the matchup against Illuminati, just wasn't their cup of tea. But I do look for Team Torch to bounce back, especially when Creston Martin gets back in that lineup, and that guy can put up a lot of points in a hurry.
Now, former Massive Jammers Stephen Perkins plays for Team Torch, right?
Correct. Stephen Perkins
How'd he do?
from the Dallas Athletic League. He's always solid. I think he shot 60% last night, but they just couldn't find a flow as a team. 89 is a lot of points, but as you could tell, there wasn't a lot of defense. Illuminati, they're just Reggie Britton really did a great job of handpicking that team, and every person on that team could be the number 1 scorer for another team. So definitely good things there for Illuminati. As long as there's enough ball to go around, I think they'll stay happy. The next game was Free Dirk and Swish Factor. Swish Factor got up 21 points on really horrendous shooting by Free Dirk last night. I think collectively it was 30% shooting for Free Dirk last night. Duran, I think, was 7 for 20. Brandon Bussey was in that same boat. Shots weren't falling. Felt like some of the calls weren't really going their way. But as a basketball player, you get that. Really turned it on in the second half, kept whittling away on the lead, tied it up at the end of regulation, and actually pulled it out in overtime, 71-66. So those are the sort of games you want to see your team grind it out, play a little defense, get the stops, and try to get out and just make something happen, make anything happen. And when you can get those kind of wins, it's huge. Pan-Dubs and the Dire Wolves, the new look Pan-Dubs this season. I can't really get a gauge on them so far. Little different looking. They have some even quicker players this season. If you can believe that, hard to believe, but definitely a new look Pan-Dubs team that ran away from the Wolfpack last night, 91-76. Keep an eye on the Pan-Dubs. They always seem to come around. They're a little slow out of the gate. Always come around, especially around the playoffs. They know how to bring it together. Glasshouse and Glasshouse Shooters against Purple Cobras. Glasshouse kind of ran away with this one, 88-55. It was close for about 2 minutes, and Glasshouse just that team is constructed of, they're just so, the chemistry's there. They're gonna be a tough matchup for any team this season.
Oh yeah, they want to win in both leagues, and you can tell.
Yeah, definitely.
They're really taking it to the next level.
Stan Cavan, Cecil Hood, Mike Swisher, those guys, really the core of that team. They're hungry for a championship, and they're doing everything they can to make it happen. A couple of great additions to that team for Plano and Dallas Athletic.
Yep.
So a little more personnel than they're used to running with, but they're really getting the rotation down. I think when they get that 8-man rotation down, they're going to be really dangerous. Keeps everybody fresh, especially Stan and Mike. When those
You
guys
heard it, Stan and Mike, especially you guys.
Yeah, and when those guys have fresh legs, they're dangerous. Last game of the night was a real surprise for me. The 2 free agent teams in our league this season, Team Hashtag and Bomb Squad. This game was back and forth. Really savvy Bomb Squad team led by Leroy Shaw, and a Hashtag team that has a couple of big men that know how to get to the basket, and Thaddeus Wright and Victor Jackson. Two really strong players. Like I said, good defense here. These guys know how to score, and Bomb Squad came out with a 2-point win, 76-74, and that game went down to the very end. So hats off to you guys, and probably 2 of the better free agent teams that I've seen in Plano since I've been here.
Great. Well, that's all we have for Week 3 in Dallas. You stay classy, UH Nation.
See you guys.